Welcome back. This is part two. So yeah, we talked in part one. We talked about Tangerine Dream, Ashra Temple, and Can. So I think we should start off with the most obvious German band that everyone has probably heard of. I mean, probably the biggest band to come out of the Kosmische scene was Kraftwerk. 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 So yeah, Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk. Well, I mean, anyone that's picked up a synthesizer or fantasized about getting a synthesizer has probably heard of and listened to Kraftwerk. I mean, a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people say on YouTube that Kraftwerk were the electronic Beatles. Now, that is not a bad comparison. I mean, I think to me personally, maybe it's just me being biased because I love my synthesizers and electronic music, but I think Kraftwerk are in the top 5 most influential bands of all time. They just are, aren't they? I mean, you look at dance music. Dance music wouldn't have existed without Kraftwerk. So a lot of the hip hop wouldn't have existed without Kraftwerk. I mean, back in the Bronx, back in the 80s, they'd be breakdancing to Kraftwerk. They'd be breakdancing to Kraftwerk, Gary Newman, Electric Magic Orchestra. It's bizarre, isn't it? Four geeky Germans influencing a relatively African American culture. I mean, obviously there was a lot of Latinos in the hip hop scene as well, But for those guys to influence American culture like that, it's just brilliant and fascinating at the same time. It's just absolutely just incredible. I mean, Kraftwerk. What does Kraftwerk stand for? Kraftwerk stands for power plant. No, it's not Kraft. It's Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk means power station. So yeah, Kraftwerk means power station. Power station, and so yeah, Kraftwerk. I think Kraftwerk were the first. Yeah, Kraftwerk were the first German band I heard. I think it was the Model. Yeah, it was the Model, which got to #1 over here in the UK back in the early 80s. I mean, incredible. It is a cliche to say, but Kraftwerk were ahead of their time. They just were, Autobahn, such a great track, 22, 22 minutes of absolute bliss, just incredible, and that got in the top 10 back in 74, 75. That got in the top 10 over here in the UK, and just incredible, Trans Europe Express, a great album, some great stuff on there, Europe Endless, Hall of Mirrors, just absolutely brilliant. I think Trans Europe Express was the first CD I got of theirs, and I was like, couldn't stop listening to it. Just brilliant. And pretty much Newman and Kraftwerk pretty much made me want to have a synthesizer. You know, those guys, you know, just, you know, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to have a synthesizer and make music was because of Kraftwerk. You know, just absolutely incredible, you know, and you know, you can't overstate how big an impact they've had on music. You just can't. You know, you just can't. It's just incredible. You know, absolutely incredible it is. So yeah, Kraftwerk, absolutely brilliant. I need to get all this stuff on vinyl. What have I got on there as a vinyl? I've got Tour de France somewhere around here. Yeah, somewhere around here. I can't find jack shit in here. I got too many records stacked to the ceiling. It's incredible. So yeah, Kraftwerk. I mean, just brilliant. And as we're talking about Kraftwerk, two early members of Kraftwerk went on to form Neu. Klaus Dinger and Michael Roffer. Neu. So yeah, Neu is German for new. They called themselves that because their music was going to be something that was new, that had never been heard before. Boy, did they make music that nobody had heard before. Now, I have got Noise 75 on vinyl, but I can't fucking find it. So we're just gonna have to talk. Just talk about them. So yeah, Neu. So yeah, Neu is German for new, and just they made 3 fantastic albums, an incredible body of work they made. It's just, you know, I mean, to me, Neu are up there with Kraftwerk and Can. They just are, you know. When I first heard Hallo Gallo, the opening track on Neu 1, I was like, wow. You know, it's sort of like, to describe that song into words, it's sort of like, it's like you're travelling on a different. It's like you're on a space journey. It's like you're on an astral plane. You know, it's very sort of like that. You know, they let you, or as Iggy Pop would say, they let your thoughts to flow freely. You know, it's sort of like Hallo Gallo is perfect music for a space travel in a rocket, or walking on a canal feeding ducks. It has a very sedative, calming sort of effect on you. It's hard to describe it really, but it does. It really does. You know, and Neu would have a contrast in styles as well, but particularly with the 2 members. You know, I mean, Michael Roffer, he would make. He was a very, you know, he comes across as a very quiet, thoughtful person. You know, he sort of looks like the sort of person that doesn't want to upset anyone. You know, and he puts in many ways, sort of puts his opinions, instead of on paper, he puts his opinions in music. He's sort of like, Hallo Gallo is sort of like he's in a very very calm, and maybe a reflective mood. Whereas with Klaus Dinger, the drummer, very manic. Apparently I've read that he took acid about 150 times or 200. I read that story somewhere. And he had a very punky, very, very edgy, punky, punchy style. The vocal style does sort of remind me of John Lydon. You listen to Hero by Noy. It sounds like, to me, it sounds like Sex Pistols Pretty Vacant. It just does. It has that rebellious sort of spirit, and he's singing about fuck the press, fuck the company, fuck the program. It's just brilliant. And of course, Bowie, that's where Bowie got the idea from Heroes from. The song Hero. Bowie was a big fan of the 70s German stuff. He's a massive fan. He loved Kraftwerk. I think I read that to open, I think, was it on Station to Station tour, or one of his tours, he had a Kraftwerk song opening for him. Or am I thinking of Clockwork Orange? I'm sure I read somewhere on one of his tours he would have a Kraftwerk song playing before he'd come on. But yeah, Bowie was a big fan of Noy. He was an absolute massive fan. He wanted to work with Michael Roth, the guitarist there. Noy. He wanted to work with him, but I don't know what happened. It said in one of Bowie's books that Michael Roffer wanted to work with Bowie and Bowie wanted to work with Roffer, and I think it would have been incredible collaboration, but miscommunication somewhere, and it didn't happen. But yeah, Bowie's Heroes is from Noy's Hero, because he was an absolute massive fan. And of course, again, John Lyon, big fan of Noy. Joy Division were a big fan of Noy. Stereolab. You listen to Stereolab. You listen to, what's he called that song? What's that Stereolab song? Outer Accelerator? It sounds like Hallo Gallo. Completely sounds just like Hallo Gallo. Just brilliant. Stereolab. Great band. Influenced by Noy. Sonic Youth. Influenced by Noy. He just influenced so many bands. Just incredible, and the 3 albums that they made together, just incredible. Noy, brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. Noy 2 is Noy 2 is brilliant for maybe the wrong or right for the wrong reasons, because Noy 2 they were on a very, very tight budget. So most of the songs on there are basically the same track, either sped up or slowed down, like Super. It's like Super, the actual original music piece, is a very, very dry, very drum driving sort of garage punk style. It's very, very punk, very, very punky. Very, very. It does his vocal style does remind me of John Lydon. It's unreal, absolutely unreal. It just does. And of course, Super 16, which is the slow down version of Super, is just talk about creepy. Very, very creepy. You know, I'm surprised it hasn't been used in a horror film. To be honest, it's that fucking creepy. And if you know your history, you know that Super 16 was used in the Kung Fu film Master of the Flying Guillotine. That is a great film, and it's used in that to great effect. It really is. It really, really, really is. And of course, it was used later on in Kill Bill. So if you only know one noise song, you'll probably know Super 16 without realizing it. Because I think because I didn't take notice of that. I mean, I didn't take notice of who Noi was when I watched Kill Bill and listened to that. I think at the time I thought it was a bit too weird for my tastes. Because I was only, I mean, when did Kill Bill come out? 2003. So 13, my tastes were very not that broad really, but yeah, Super 16 is used in that. Yeah, Noi 2, just a great album. But my favourite album is Noi 75. You know, Noi 75. And it's like I said, that album is a contrast. It is a complete antithesis of styles. You know, you've got side one, which is pretty much Michael Roffer's side. I think they agreed. I think they came to agreement on that album. Like, so side one's my side, so I do I'm doing my shit, and side two you're doing your shit, sort of thing. So side one is Michael Roffer's side, very, beautiful, just beautiful, just absolutely stunning pieces of music on the piano and synth. It's just very, very, and of course, then like the really nice water effect. It's a sort of music that you could listen to on a beach. You can just sit there on your deck chair with your ice cream, just looking at the water, looking at the waves. Perfect music. Absolutely perfect. Side two, really like very, very hard, aggressive, very, 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 very punky. Very, very punk rock. Very punk rock. I think Klaus Dinger was just he was sort of like a hippie punk in many ways, and just another great drummer up there with Jackie Lieberside, just a great drummer. Eno coined what did he coined his drum style? Motorig. Am I saying that right? Motorig. Yeah, he coined that style, Motorig, to describe his style. I was Dingham and saying, no, it's an Apache style. Oh, okay, fair enough. But yeah, just incredible drum style, and yeah, I read that Roffer and Dinger didn't get on that much, to be honest, but they did give us the incredible body of work, and if you to start with, I think with Noi, I would start with the third album. I would start with the third album, and then work your way to Noi 2 and Noi. I would start with Noi 75. So yeah, Noi, and of course, again, Roffer, Dinger went their separate ways and formed other bands, and Roffer hooked up with the two guys from Cluster to give us Harmonia. But again, another great band. Absolutely brilliant. This album and deluxe is just, oh, it's just absolutely, absolutely, absolutely just, it's just stunning. You know, it's just a stunning, it's just stunning, stunning album. Brilliant. So yeah. I might attempt to draw that as well. Draw it and paint it. It'd be a good thing to paint, wouldn't it? So yeah, Harmonia was Michael Rothman joined them. And of course, Dinger formed La Dusseldorf. And this is their third album. So yeah, La Dusseldorf were, I think they were an extension of the really hard punk style, particularly on songs like La Dusseldorf. It just sounds like a really. It does. I listen to it and thinks it's like John Lydon in a German voice. It does. It just sounds like John Lydon. Incredible. I think their first. I would say their second album is the best. Their best album, Viva. First album is good. Silver Cloud is a great synth instrumental. It's just absolutely beautiful. Silver Cloud, brilliant. And yeah, this style is on this album it is less aggressive. It is less. It's more. It feels more like in many ways a precursor to the 80s synth pop style. It has elements of synth pop. It does very more poppier. I can imagine OMD and Depeche Mode listening to this and going, oh, that sounds good. I think we'll do a bit of that on our stuff. It has that style. And Bowie said about La Dusseldorf that they were the soundtrack to the 80s. So that's high praise, isn't it? That is really, 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 really high praise. So yeah, La Dusseldorf, great band. And as we were talking about Harmonia and the two members of Cluster. So Cluster, really good band, Cluster. So yeah, Cluster are like one of the original synth duos. The 80s. Synth duos were taken for granted, weren't they? I mean, Yazoo, Erasure, Pet Shop Boys, but these guys, they were around 10 years earlier. I mean, they didn't start out as a duo. They started as it was a 3-piece or 4-piece band, and the sound was more. The early stuff is very harsh. It has a harsh, metallic, proto-industrial sound, sort of like an early noise rock sort of sound, sort of like the stuff Lou Reed did on Metal Machine Music, sort of that style. But he did go on to make craft a very soft, very soft ambient sound. Some great. And this is the best. This is the best of Cluster. And I need to color it in, don't I? I want to color it in and make it all pretty. Oh, wunderbar. So yeah, Cluster. Oh, some great. Some of this stuff. Some of this stuff sounds like Square Pusher or Ampex Twin, Richard D. James, particularly Caramel off the Zucker Zeit album. It does. It sounds like something Ampex Twin would do. Completely Again, completely ahead of their time. You know, completely ahead of their time they were. And of course, Hans Joachim Rodius was in, not joking, he was in the Hitler Youth. He was in the Hitler Youth. And he was like, and the interviewer was like, well, what did you have to do in Hitler Youth? We had to do Nazi salutes and all that shit. I said, well, I thought, yeah, exactly. Fucking load of shit. Bloody hell, yeah. Not exactly a proud moment for him, is it? But yeah, Cluster. Really good band, Cluster, really good. So yeah, Cluster. I don't know if we could mention. Like, should I mention any more? We'll do a couple of honourable mentions. So Faust, brilliant band. Amondur 2. Oh God, let's have a think. That'll do, I think. Faust, Amondur 2. So yeah, that was Kosmische music. So yeah. What else could I add to that? So, if you're interested in a lot of the bands I mentioned, there's a great documentary on YouTube about this music scene called Krautrock, Rebirth of Germany. So check that out, and you'll get more. You'll get better. You'll get better insight and information than you can from me. I just babble a load of crap. I babble a lot of crap because I'm loco. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.